Welcome home to philosophy, where we wonder about everything and anything is possible. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Corey, the laughing philosopher. Life is complicated. The world is complicated, and you are complicated. Figuring out how to live a happy, meaningful life, guided by wisdom and reason, is not easy. Is life a game? What is love? Should I fear death? Is this a just world? Almost from the moment of birth, you've been told how to behave, how to fit in, and how to fulfill other people's expectations. You fear that you will lack importance or cease to exist in the lives of others if you think for yourself and question the rules and roles you've been told define you. Wisdom and reason will remove this illusion so you can live authentically in the world around you, find your true purpose, and become your real self. Welcome to episode 87. How does Carl Jung's shadow illuminate your unique brilliance? Are you comfortable in your skin, or is something missing? There is no perfect life. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone fails. Everyone stumbles and falls. Everyone is imperfect. Even Jesus was known to lose his temper and break things. Your goal in life is not perfection. Your goal in life is wholeness. Developing a better character, pursuing a more purposeful way of living, and fulfilling the dreams you have about yourself are only possible by integrating and embracing everything about yourself which you've been denying and repressing. Everything about you that society judges to be unconventional and unmutual. Everything about you that your friends and family consider odd and strange. Everything about you that's ever been frowned upon, ridiculed, or punished. Whatever other people mean, whenever you've been told that something's wrong with you and you're a bad person. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of all time, referred to the shadow as the repressed, unconscious half of yourself, assembled from all of the parts of your personality other people judge to be unacceptable and unwanted. You need their approval and pat on the head, so you cannot bear for others to see in yourself these unpopular personality traits and emotions. You segregate these bad parts of your personality beneath your conscious awareness in the darkness of your unconscious. Your most important goal in life is to assimilate the parts of yourself that are undesirable to the rest of your personality and achieve wholeness. Not only will you achieve vast self-knowledge and personal power, but you will free yourself from the pain of the fears and regrets you've been concealing from yourself in the shadow. And your captivity will be over. The shadow is the self you hide from others so you can achieve other people's acceptance and approval. The shadow is made up of positive, healthy, and life-affirming, but repressed characteristics, simply because they don't conform to other people's expectations of who you are and who they want you to be. Perhaps as a female, you are perceived as too opinionated and outspoken. Perhaps as a male, you are perceived as too emotional and sensitive. Perhaps as a female, you are perceived as too pushy and ambitious and a threat to males. Perhaps you are perceived as too mannish for a girl or too feminine for a boy. Perhaps you are perceived as too passive and not combative enough for a boy, or too bossy and leaderly for a girl. A girl can be too smart, but not a boy. A boy cannot be too aggressive, but a girl can be. You repressed those bad parts of yourself in the shadow. You repressed these positive qualities in order to earn other people's approval, to make yourself more likable and to be more popular and more acceptable to your peers. You repressed everything about yourself that did not conform to other people's expectations of who you ought to be. Everything about your personality was repressed, which is unconventional and non-conforming and judged by others to be weird. Yet, these are the very parts of yourself that make you a unique individual with a total absolute freedom to be true to yourself. A total freedom that is wider and deeper than you dare to admit to yourself. A freedom to think for yourself and make up your own mind. Your personality was split into two halves, one good and one bad, one socially constructed and one independent, one conscious and one subconscious. Some of your greatest strengths were repressed just because other people judged them to be weaknesses, and some of your weaknesses were encouraged and flourished just because others perceived them as strengths. Your personality was fractured. Your perceived wickedness was repressed at the expense of your wholeness, your individuality, and your potential for greatness. The shadow is not your bad self. It is not the opposite of your good, conscious self. Repressed in the shadow are the parts of your personality which are shunned and rejected by society. That is all. This portion of yourself is in conflict with what your family, friends, and peers judge to be good and acceptable. To achieve wholeness, you must be prepared to go with Nietzsche beyond society's conventional notions of good and bad. You must be brave in order to face up to the parts of your personality buried and lost in your shadow. Courage is required to reconnect with one's shadow and reject what others expect and want you to be. Carl Jung said, "If you get rid of qualities you don't like by denying them, you become more and more unaware of what you are. You declare yourself more and more non-existent." Assimilating your shadow into your conscious personality is essential for your happiness and well-being. Repressing your shadow and its antisocial personality, it doesn't just go away. It sits in the subconscious mind like an unexploded bomb one is afraid to move or touch. Today is April 12, 2023. In the United States so far this year, there have been 146 mass shootings. One hallmark of the mechanism of repression is an out-of-control explosion after the fact at persons completely unrelated to the situation, which made one angry in the first place. Buddha said, "Nothing can explode in you that wasn't always there." A person might be told, almost from the moment of birth, that to be assertive is to be selfish. So she or he goes through the business of living, letting herself be pushed around and bullied by others. Her potential for assertiveness then forms part of her shadow self. A female might be socialized to believe that ambition is unfeminine. A male might be socialized to think that emotional sensitivity is not masculine. Pay attention to your moods, dreams, and fantasies. Do you feel bullied or oppressed for no specific reason? Do you feel a desire for revenge against some anonymous injustice in the world? Do you feel a need to build or to destroy something, anything? These feelings boil over from your subconscious shadow self, which is demanding some measure of realization and integration. The shadow cries out to be explored. It deeply desires to be reunited with the conscious self. It deeply needs to be exploited in its wholeness in order to achieve its full potential. How then do you give realization to your shadow? Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. By listening and observing, you can understand your behavior and connect it to events from your past that made you who you are and made the shadow who you are not. By sparking a conversation within yourself, my questions and your answers will lead to a stronger, deeper self-awareness. Be honest with yourself. I'm warning you, it won't be easy. Nothing is so difficult as not deceiving yourself, said Wittgenstein. Right. Let's go. The most important part of you is between your ears. It is full of answers. Is there someone you are hiding a grudge against? What is holding you back from speaking up and moving on? Do you feel misunderstood? What do you want other people to know about you that you're holding back from them? Are you unhappy with your primary relationships? What's stopping you from ending the bad relationships and improving the good ones? Why are you holding on to people who don't deserve your affections? Are you uncomfortable in your skin? Is there something you would like to change about yourself? What's holding you back? Are you too hard on yourself? Do you practice enough self-care? Do you enforce boundaries with others, or just allow people to cross lines? Do you feel as though people don't respect you? Are you honestly afraid to demand the respect you think you deserve? Do you accept yourself as you are, or do you feel something is missing? What are your deepest, darkest fears? Do you lie to yourself to avoid facing your fears? Do you feel 100% yourself around other people? Or do you feel yourself playing a role and wearing a mask to fit in? Are you afraid to be alone in your own company? Do you need other people to fill a void inside you? I warned you, it wouldn't be easy. Jung said, "How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole." As you confront your shadow self, you will slowly achieve a new, higher self, a complete self. With effort and courage, you can unite with your shadow and become the being you feel you ought to be. Stand your ground when you feel pushed around. Whenever you are unfairly tested or challenged by your spouse, peers, or co-workers. Speak up when you are told to shut up. Your thoughts and ideas may be ridiculed and rejected, but the majority has never been a guarantee of truth or wisdom. Stand tall, bigger than life, when you are told to sit down. Fearlessly speak your truth. You are a voice crying in the wilderness, an individual in an infinite ocean of conformity. Integrating the shadow into your conscious personality. Your goal is not to become conspicuously aggressive or stubbornly opinionated. Your goal is to get in touch with your repressed power and unfulfilled potential to be true to yourself, your whole self. Marcus Tullius Cicero, born in the year 106 before the Common Era, is considered a great Roman philosopher and one of Rome's greatest public speakers. Cicero argued that one of the 6 greatest mistakes humanity keeps making century after century is to insist that something is impossible just because it's never been accomplished. Whenever people cannot conceive how such a thing might be accomplished, it's considered impossible. Today, almost everything you take for granted would be considered impossible in 1951, the year I was born. The average high school student today is smarter than the smartest person in the world only a few hundred years ago. Change is real, but misjudged. People vastly overestimate how much can change in a day, but underestimate how much can change in a year. Whenever you make a major change in your life, notice what you are told by other people. You're told that it's too extreme, it's too impractical, and it's impossible. You're told that you won't be happy, you'll regret it, and you shouldn't do it. You are familiar and comfortable just the way you are. Trying to become someone strange and unfamiliar is wrong. As you give life to your shadow self, you will have to face up to other people's natural resistance to change. So you want to become more assertive, not hostile and aggressive. You want to become more self-confident, not arrogant and overbearing. You want to stand up for yourself and defend what you believe in, not to become close-minded and authoritarian. You want to become more ambitious, not pushy and power-loving. You want to become more comfortable thinking for yourself and more independent in your beliefs and expectations, not rebellious and anti-authoritarian. You want to become more skeptical, not cynical. You want to become more courageous, not recklessly or thoughtlessly bold. You want to become more durable and self-reliant, not disengaged and isolated. You want to become more sensitive and creative, not fanciful and impractical. Break free of conventional wisdom and act unconventionally. Break free from the standards and expectations of the majority and take risks to achieve your full potential. Break through the boundaries of your own narrow and limited perception of yourself. By bringing your unconscious self into your consciousness, you can break the agreement between your individuality and the majority's desires and expectations. You can face up to and solve your fears, regrets, and any other pain you've been hiding from your conscious self. You will sense a greatness of character in yourself. You will feel complete and completely free. You will feel yourself growing into your whole personality. You will begin to notice changes in your personality as you give full freedom of expression to the hidden, repressed parts of yourself, and full realization to the unrealized power of the shadow. What you buried beneath your conscious awareness will rise to the surface, and you will know the whole truth about yourself. Bukowski said, "Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you. You have nothing to lose but your chains, your wholeness to win. Do it." Thank you for listening. I hope you will take what you've learned and be a better person. Think for yourself. Question everything. Accept nothing that does not agree with your own reason and good sense. And I promise you, despite its sham and drudgery, you will get on pretty well in this crazy world. I'm Dr. Robert Corey. Until we meet again, be good.